Whatever.
Hello YouTube, this is Stefan for Bushcraft Holland, and today also for the Bushcraft Vereniging. In English that would be the Dutch Bushcraft Association. I went on a hiking trip to Sweden. I see a lot of videos about people showing the stuff they will bring. This is a video about showing the stuff that I brought. So just before everything will be washed, cleaned and stowed away for the next time, I'm making this video. This is a jacket I like to wear over a t-shirt, and in my top pocket is a compass. It has a mirror in there also. Then in my lower pocket I have my opinel. I have a lighter, a spoon and a pen. And then in the other pocket I have a handkerchief, also usable as a bandana because it's big enough. Then my trousers, it's rather cheap trousers. You see they have a pouch, and in this pouch I have my Leatherman. And then I have my survival part. It's a Victorinox Soldier. It's a piece of fat wood. I will zoom in. Victorinox Soldier, piece of fat wood. It's a whistle, orange one. Then I have the Enator Pet tick remover, a striker and a fire steel, and that's always on my belt. When in the woods, not when in the bus or not when traveling into town, I have the Enzo Trapper, or I had the Enzo Trapper also attached to my belt by the keyring system that I normally use. It's very functional. It's very easy to add or remove stuff. I have a separate video about this thing. Okay, I do wear a hat because I don't have much hair. I have to be careful with the sun. And then sometimes I had the fleece, mostly for in the bus or in the evenings. And my raincoat. I did not use it much because the weather was rather okay. Okay, then I have a 75 liter backpack which I carried. It's quite a sturdy one. It's a heavy but sturdy one, but quite comfortable. And in there I had this mat. It's just a very thin one. It's only 6 millimeters thick. I used it to sit on, to lie on, and also to put my gear on. Then you see a sleeping bag. It's just a small one. The comfort zone is plus 9 degrees, but it was more than sufficient. In this waterproof roll bag I had spare clothes. That is shirt, trousers, socks, underwear, and also a towel. Here I had the military poncho, which I used mostly as a tarp, because I also had the raincoat. And there is my military bivy bag. It's breathable and it functions very well. Also, in case of an emergency, I had a small hammock with another small tarp packed in one. And in fact I used this most of the time, at least the hammock. I did sleep in the hammock most of the nights. It's very comfortable though. Then I have my bag for my personal hygiene with toothbrush, toothpaste, a razor blade and biodegradable soap. This is my food bag. I did bring too much food. I can show you here the canister with couscous and goji berries, some herbs, hard cakes. I use them a lot. I also had salami, hamburgers. But I did bring home some stuff because it was way too much. We also took our greens from the woods, from the forest. Okay, my water and cooking gear I have here the Hygiene bottle together with the Tatonka cup. I have the Stanley cup, stainless steel, another 0.75 liters stainless steel bottle. I have my Ikea Hobo stove with the windshield made of old can. I have here my cup, a very useful one, and I used it directly on the fire also. It's actually a stainless steel container for coffee pads. Then I have my what you call it, sprit. So it's for my alcohol burner, which I bought. This alcohol burner is here. It's a small one, the Trangia, but it's quite okay. I did use it several times and it functions very well. Also it functions very well inside my Hobo stove. And then I have a small wok, which is also very nice to have. I use this also as my eating bowl. So also double function. Of course I had to wrap some stuff in washcloth, and because of the rattling, I didn't want to make too much noise because we don't want to disturb the wildlife. In fact, we went there to see some wildlife. Toilet paper, of course. The small pouch has some fire starting kit, or maybe I should say fire extending kit. So some stuff you will need, also some pins for to use with the stove, and an extra lighter. Then flip-flops to give my feet some rest. They're very comfortable. Then I brought 2 books, the SAS Survival Guide and Food for Free. A light stick. This is a swimming trunk. I like to use swimming trunks because they dry very easily. Much faster than a cotton underwear will. Then I had plastic garbage bags, of course, to take back our waste. Don't leave no trace. A small bandana, which I did not use actually. And then a fleece hood, which I did use in the colder evenings. Okay, a big scarf, very useful, very multifunctional, but I did not actually use it this time. An extra pair of socks I keep on the outside, so I can change socks and wash them whenever possible. Of course, a safety vest, bright orange, with the reflecting stripes. I think it's a must-have when you go inside the woods. Some bungees, some cord, which I use as cordage and as a ridge line. The orange stuff is what I use to hang my hammock between the trees, together with carabiners I will show you later. And this is the big knife. I will do a separate review of the knives that I took. So you will see this one again. It's very heavy duty, it functions very well for batoning, it's indestructible, but it's also heavy. Okay, together with my backpack, I use the shoulder bag. It's also for in the bus, but it's also very convenient. You see the small light, I don't know what it's called, and there's also a lanyard attached. And at the side you can see the carabiners attached. This one is very sturdy and strong, and it's great as a bag, but well, maybe not in combination with the backpack, especially not when you leave the trails and go into the bush. Here's what we use for a car window in winter time, so it won't be frozen, and it's very functional. I did use it to sit on. I used it to put below me when I was on the floor and it was a bit colder, as a reflective shield. It's very useful. It's very strong and very lightweight. Okay, this was my lunchbox for in the bus. Just some stuff, nuts and raisins and stuff like that. Then I had this stainless steel Stanley water flask, together with protection, the insulation. I will forget about the insulation because that was not very useful and it does take place. Then I have a small, what is it, Altoids tin, I believe you call it. That's my fishing gear. Sometimes it was in my shoulder bag and sometimes it was in my backpack. Some leather gloves, good leather gloves. Some extra cordage. And the bug spray or bug repellent and deodorant. Oh, in fact the sharpening stone belongs there. There was an extra bag, a foldable bag, handbag, a net for your head, a head net to keep the mosquitoes away, some hand sanitizer. This is my survival tin and it contains mostly medicine. A book just to read while in the bus. Sunblock, or at least sun lotion. And terrainkartan, I don't know if you pronounce this right, but it's the topographic map of the area we went to. 1 equals 50,000. Then I brought this device. I will do a separate video, or it is already in the video I shot. It's nice. It's a solar. You can charge your battery of your mobile phone, and it also has a crank, but the crank broke already, so actually it's not the best quality. And this is my cutting board, very flexible. I like to use this one whenever I'm cutting the meat. Okay, the smallest pouch, it was most of the time on my hip, and it's a hip pouch or a hip bag. I had the blanket, the survival blanket. I had my Altoids tin with survival equipment. Maybe I'll make a separate video about this one, I don't know yet. My reading glasses, because I do need them. A pencil thicker headlight, a folding cup, some easy accessible bandage, plaster I must say, just for the first cuts, just to stop the bleeding or to stop your equipment and clothes from having blood all over. Because you probably, especially when you go off the path and into the woods, you will need something like this. You will cut yourself. My mobile phone in a plastic bag, and my DC3 Falkneven sharpener. So this was what I brought to Sweden on my hiking trip. I guess that the weight altogether was less than 20 kilo, maybe 18 or something like this. But I did find some stuff to lose or not take with me next time, and even reduce the weight more. Oh, over here, by the way, there's that was in the backpack also, an extra handkerchief. In this canister is a candle, and the yellow bag, that's for my tinder. I do collect tinder along the way. The yellow bag also sometimes was inside my other bag, the shoulder bag. So that's the review of the things I brought. I think that the water was plenty. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I could do with less water, because every evening we went to a lake to camp. So we had some water available there. But that's for next time. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. If you have questions, just ask me. I will do a separate review on the cooking gear, on the knives, and maybe on some other stuff. Bye bye, take care.
Whatever.